city, and we didn't know each other, but we made eye contact. And ever since that day, I was like, man, I wonder if I'm ever going to see that girl again. And I'm like, I should have talked to her. So I always like thought about it, you know?
Definitely, like I had seen him and I had wanted to talk to him, but I didn't.
One night, I went out with my buddies, and usually we don't go out downtown to the Landing or anything crazy, but for some reason that night we decided to go down there, and we're just sitting at this bar, you know, having some drinks, and all of a sudden I look over and I see this girl, and I'm like, that's the girl.
I went up and I asked him to dance, and after I asked him to dance, we went out on the dance floor and we started dancing, and then he kept winking at me, like constantly. Like every, I'd say 2 seconds, he kept winking at me. It was the cutest, most awkward thing ever, and I loved it.
You know, we exchanged our phone numbers and stuff like that, and you know, I was like, well, okay, well, you know, I'll call you soon or whatever. And so we waited, or I thought I was gonna wait, like, you know, everybody's like, wait 3 days, you know, don't let her know you're like, you know, crazy about her or whatever. And like the next day I like stalked her on MySpace and stuff, and so I sent her a message.
And it was just saying, you know, how great of a time that he had, and how he wanted to see me again. And so we ended up calling, he ended up calling me, and we made a date, and ever since then we're like inseparable. We spent almost every single day together.
After dating for a while, like, I realized that she was just this awesome person that had the greatest appreciation for life and just loved everything and loved family, and she was fun. I mean, everything that you could ask for in a girl, she was it.
He's just an amazing guy, an amazing person. He's got a kind heart, and he would do just anything for anybody. He can talk to anybody. He truly is just an amazing person.
So finally, I find this awesome girl that I'm totally crazy in love with, and our relationship's growing, and we just know that we're like perfect for each other. And in the back of my head, I'm thinking, man, I have to leave in 3 months to go to flight school. And I was like, I gotta tell her.
I was really upset because, you know, I had found this wonderful person, and he was leaving. Breaking up wasn't even in our like minds. Like, it wasn't. Like, we're like, we're gonna do this, we're gonna stick it through, we're gonna be together, you know, because we wanted to be together. And we knew that. We loved each other.
We knew we loved each other no matter where we were, that we would make it work. And so I moved to Fort Rucker, Alabama to go to flight school for the Army. And after about four months of doing the long distance thing, we just broke down and said, you know, we have to live together. We had to be together. We had too much fun together, and you know, we loved each other. So to pull us apart like that, it seemed like it was like a crime, you know, like we just had to be together.
So we just made the plans to have me move up there. You know, got rid of my apartment and moved my whole life up to be with him, and it was worth it. I loved every single day of it, every single moment. He makes me happy. Every single day with him makes me happy. So every single day apart from him, I'm not so happy.
We had a blast down in Alabama, and that's where we really like learned everything about each other, and we fell more and more in love with each other. And eventually, I started thinking, man, she's the one. She's there for me, through thick and thin, and I'm there for her, and I think I'm ready to marry this girl.
I definitely wanted Tom to propose to me. I loved him so much, and we lived together and we had a life together, and we loved each other so much.
I had it all planned out. I was like, this is gonna be the weekend that I'm gonna propose to her. And I get done with all my flight training on Friday. We got out early, it was like perfect. And I was like, all right, Jen, I really want to go to the beach this weekend.
Well, I had kind of a hard week. I was in school in Alabama and I was working, so I had a hard week, and the beach was like a 2-hour drive, and he wanted to go for the day, and I was kind of tired, so I just kind of wanted to stay home and relax.
And she's like, well, I had a rough week. I don't really feel like going to the beach. And I'm like, Jen, we're going to the beach this weekend. We're going.
We packed all our stuff and we went down to the beach.
It's sunset. I have the blanket all laid out, and we're sitting there on our blanket, just kind of sitting upright, watching the sunset. And we're holding each other's hands, and I had her left hand in my hand, and I was rubbing her ring finger.
He was holding my hand, and then he starts like rubbing on my finger, and he was like, we need to prep this. I think we need to prep this because, it's gonna happen soon. I'm gonna propose to you soon. And I was like, oh, okay.
She's all smiling and stuff, and I was like, will you marry me? And then she looks at me and she's like, where's my ring?
And I was like, where's the ring? Not thinking he was serious. And then he pulled it out of his pocket, and I was like, and we proposed. And I started crying.
So then I pulled out this ring. It's been burning a hole in my pocket for like all day long, and I finally, put the ring on her finger, and she was just speechless, started crying, told me that she loved me and how happy she was, and finally she said yes. And I was like, oh, sweet.
Oh, he asked me, he was like, so is that a yes? Because I didn't say yes at first, I just started crying, and he was like, so is that a yes? And then I was like, yes. And then he had this biggest smile on his face, and he just hugged me and kissed me, and it was beautiful. The sun was setting, and it was just the most amazing day. It was perfect.
People say, talk about love at first sight, and you hear people that are, you hear that and you're like, oh, that's not true, It is. It's true. It happens. Because, it happened to us.